Hi everyone, welcome to the video. In this one we're talking about MAME and the MAME ROM sets and how to keep them up to date. I know some people like to pick a certain ROM set and then they'll stick with it for a little while, but maybe in the background or alongside that you want to make sure you've always got the latest, so you can kind of change your ROM set if you want to. So this is a quick video on how to keep up to date and always have the latest version, which obviously it's released once a month, so this is kind of minimise the effort to keep updated. So without further ado, this is the website I use to grab the sets. So obviously links will be in the description. And as you can see, they've got update sets, so to update from previous version to the latest version. But then they've also got full sets down here. Now obviously if you're starting from scratch and you haven't got MAME at all, you'd obviously want to download the full set. Like I say, which they've got here, and they've got the merged, non-merged and split. I always go with the non-merged. It seems to work better for me with front ends. You know, you've got everything in that one zip file to launch a game. And if you're not sure about the merged, unmerged, I have covered it in other videos, but this website or web page does have a handy little explanation down here with the difference between split, merged and non-merged. But personally I go for non-merged. So yeah, if you're starting from scratch, you'd come here, you come to a full set, you'd pick the type you want, in this case non-merged, and then obviously there's the CHD files that go with it. Obviously these are the compressed hunks of data, is what it stands for. They're basically hard drive or CD images from arcade machines. Some of the original old arcade machines just had ROMs which contained everything. As arcade machines developed and got bigger and better and the games got more advanced, that was no longer adequate to store the data, so they started using hard drives and CDs and that kind of stuff. So those games have CHD files to go with them. Obviously there's a separate torrent for those as well here, and then there's software lists, which we'll quickly touch on. This is so obviously the main MAME ROM sets are for your arcade machines. Then the software lists is where MAME can emulate things like home computers and home consoles, the PlayStation, Mega Drive, that kind of stuff. They have ROMs or game sets for those as well. Obviously they're a lot bigger, so you can grab those here as well. And again, for systems like PlayStation, which are CD based, they're in CHD format. But obviously this is quite big now. I think it's getting on for I want to say a terabyte with both, whereas the software lists are a lot bigger, because there's a lot more systems and it's a lot more CD based games. So anyway, this is where you can grab the full sets, and then the reason for the video is how do you keep up to date. Obviously you don't want to download a whole set every single month because they're huge and that take ages to download. You'd be forever downloading. So like I say, this website quite handily has update packs. So here you can see we've got an update pack just to go from 265 to 266, which is the latest version. Obviously when I'm making the video, that's the latest version. So that's great, and that works. That's what I've been doing, and that works great as long as you remember to check each month. You check, make sure you grab these, because obviously if you wait till next month, this will suddenly be 266 to 267, and you're like, oh, I can't get the update file for the previous version, which I guess you might be able to find somewhere, but for me, an easy way to do it is with the torrent client itself. So what I've done, I was going to say intentionally, but I've been a bit lazy and I have let mine drift. So I've got a MAME set here. So I've got this 4 terabyte USB drive I have it on. So I've got a folder called MAME Latest, and then in here you got the contents of basically these torrents. And you can see I've currently got 264. I'll get rid of that one for a second because that's what I was testing. Try and delete it twice. That's not going to work, is it? But just delete that out because, like I said, I was testing. So anyway, so I've got 264 here. Like I said, I'll let it drift a bit. So the latest version is 266. So I'll to update, I would need the 264 to 265 update, and then the 265 to 266. Basically, these update files are a lot smaller. They just have the ROMs that have been either added or changed since the previous version. But like I say, if you're like me and you haven't checked it, or you don't want to do it every month, you want to do it every once in a while, the easiest thing to do is with your torrent client. So what I'll do is I'll come here, let's say so you need to do this for the full sets, but don't worry, it's not going to download the full set. So I'll do it with the MAME ROM the main ROMs set first. So like I said, I'll go for non-merge. So here's the non-merge set. Just click on this. It's going to download a torrent file. Mine's set up to automatically open in QTorrent. So here we go. So I want it to download to that folder, that MAME latest folder, which is what we were just looking at here. And that contains all the actual contents of the previous torrents. So then here's all the content that's going to be inside it. Here's the folder we're going to. We're going to start, and that's it. We're not going to check anything else, and we'll just say OK. And then we'll see if we open up the torrent client and open up this side by side. So you go in, you see here, so it's just create a folder called 266. So obviously I've got 264 there already. So let's open up this, create a new folder, and basically if we let this run, it's going to sit and download the whole 140 gig. But to save us time and just get the basically update our pack to 266, what we'll do is we'll just quickly pause this, and just to make sure no files are open, we're just going to close the torrent client. So now we've got 266 here, and as you look inside here, it's started to download some of the zip files into there, which is great. But what I'll actually do is, some of those will be incomplete, so we just probably don't have to do this, but I'm just going to delete that out so it's empty. And then I'll go back. So where I've got the previous version, I've got 264 ROMs non-merged. Literally going to go in here, and I'm going to do Control M on my keyboard to pick everything. Control X to cut, or you can right click and say cut. And then I'm just going to go back. Obviously there's quite a few files, and there's 41,000 files, so Windows is thinking about it. Still thinking. So it took a couple of seconds there for it to think about it. So I've now done that. Now I've gone to 266, and I'm going to paste. I suppose the other way you can do this is just, rather than moving everything from that, the 264 folder to the 266 folder, you could just rename the folder to 266. That probably would have been quicker. But so this is just going to move those files. I'll give it a second. Like I say, there's 40,000 files there, so the file system's got to catch up. Okay, so that's copied over. Obviously it took a little while, so I think in hindsight it's probably best to rename the folder, because it'll probably be a lot quicker than trying to move all those files. So yeah, probably the easiest thing, like I say, is take this name, take a copy of this name, delete the folder, and then rename this to 266. But anyway, you end up with the same thing. So our 264 folder is now empty, and everything that was in it we've now moved into the 266 folder. And we'll see here. So yeah, all the files are in there. So basically what happens now is we let the torrent client do all the hard work for us. So it's gonna, if I just relaunch it again, it's paused. So now it reckons it's 0 done, everything's 0. So all you do now is do a force recheck. And again, this will take a few minutes, depends on the speed of your your hard drive. I've got this plugged into a USB drive. It's USB 3, but still be quicker on an SSD, something like that. So now what's going to happen? It's basically going to go through and check everything and see what it's got and what it hasn't. So now I can sort this by. So you can see now, sorting through. This is where you can leave it, go and get yourself a drink or something. So you can see now as it's starting to check through, it can see that it's already got all these files. So obviously these ROMs haven't changed since 264. They're still the same in 266, so it doesn't need to download them again. So look, all we're going to do now is literally let this run through, till it checks everything. And by the end, what it should do is say, well, I've got most of it, I've got 99% of it, or 98%, whatever it might be. There's just a bit more that I need to get, so it will download just what's missing, and then, hey presto, you end up with a full 2.66 ROM set without having to download the whole lot again. And obviously, like I say, if you've missed the window for the update file, then this is a way to get back on track. So yeah, as I scroll down there, you can see loads of these are 100%. So there's ones it hasn't checked yet. But like I say, it takes a while. So what I will do for completeness, I'll just pause it here and let it finish the check, and we'll come back and just confirm that it's downloading just what it needs to. Okay, the check is now just coming to an end. Obviously it took a few minutes, but it's still a hell of a lot quicker than than downloading the whole lot again. So you can see now it's records we've got 99.4%. So it's just got to download the missing bit. I think I left it. Now it's ready. So still now switch to downloading. Like I said, there's just a couple of bits in here that it's got to download. Oh, I did limit it just in case it kicked off without me watching. So I made it really slow. Anyway, there we go. So that's just going to speed up. Just going to download these couple of bits. So we should see the speed pick up now. ETA should drop right down. Still at 1 meg. So it's going to probably take a couple minutes while it sorts itself out and gets a few more peers. That is coming down. So we'll just pause here for a second. Okay, and there it is finished. We're now going to seeding, so we're just going to stop this for a second. And now see, we're completely done. We've got all the content, everything's 100%. We can close this. And now within our 266 ROMs folder, this is now a full, completely up to date 2.6 ROM set. So we're bang up to date again. So like I say, that's there's a little bit, obviously, add it, rename the folder or copy the files around. But then once you've got them, it then obviously does the hard work for you. Like I say, it will check all the contents and work out what it has and hasn't got. Like generally between the main releases, there's normally some extra games added that weren't there before. Some games may be fixed, like if there was a bad dump of a particular ROM, might have been replaced. So the changes between them aren't generally that huge. But like I say, if you get kind of out of date and you want to try and get back up to date, rather than kind of like scrapping it and starting again and downloading the full set, basically point it at your existing ROM set, and the torrent will work out. The torrent client will work out what it needs and what it doesn't. So yeah, that was it. That was a tutorial. It's just hopefully a quick and easy one, just to kind of help anyone trying to keep their MAME set up to date and current. So hopefully helpful. Again, any comments, please leave them. Obviously, feel free to join the Discord server. We've got quite a lot of members on there now, having some good chats. So yeah, come on there, ask any questions, any feedback, any advice. That'd be great. And I'll catch you on the next one.